Hello everyone and welcome back to more AEW on TEW 2020. We are here the first week of October in 2022. We're starting off with the show of Dark and Dynamite. The Good Brothers defeat Diego Hill and Donnie Ray. This is in post-commentary. This, as well as the next two videos after this, will be in post-commentary because I screwed up my settings when recording and didn't have any sound. So that'll be fun. I don't know what the timing is on how I did things. I'm just going through. Killer Kelly defeats Bianca Corelli, and they do have good chemistry. Something to possibly keep in mind. Aneka Van der Schuren defeats Angelica Risk with the Theta Faceplant. Then Amelia Blanco defeats KZT with the Ancient Thrust. I think I will change those names eventually. And she gets a mic, and after spending a bit of time, she recovers for herself, and she says, "Yesterday I had my 18th birthday, and that is exactly easily enough to make me the youngest wrestler in AEW ever. It's a young company, and it's possible that my record will be broken not far from now, but I assure you that this is just the start of my rise. And to show how serious I am about this, to show the world just what the top prospect in all of Europe can do, I'm gunning straight for the top. Maki Ito and Abaddon, you two are in my sights." Blanca, one of the European prospects, going right after Maki and Abaddon. So, see how that goes. It's very young, 18 years old. I don't think she was... She might have actually been exactly 18, I'm not certain. Satnam Singh defeats Robert Martyr. It's a real quick match. Riho Kakashi defeats Kylie Ray. After the match, the North Jump Christopher Daniels at ringside. For Tanil and Deonna rush into the ring to beat down Riho. Kylie Ray attempts to get Sabin and fails as Tanil takes her out. Riho currently having some issues with the VIPs club. And Christopher Daniels in Riho's corner, also taken out by some other people. Hook then defeats Peter Avalon. Very bad match. Yasmin Aguilar defeats Sapphire in less than a minute. Just a little bit less than a minute. Alex Marvez comes down to the ring to interview Yasmin Aguilar about her shocking debut last week. She took out Daddio and Sheeta. But before she can say anything, Taya Valkyrie's music hits. She walks onto the ring and says, "Oh, please, Marvez. You aren't actually interested in her, are you? I mean, we're in Winnipeg, the home of the GOAT. And you're here to worry about an unproven attraction? Sure, she made a massive impact last week, but she's a nobody, unproven, untested in the field of the squared circle. Lady, you're nothing compared to a veteran like me." This in Winnipeg for Jericho Appreciation Night. Taya Valkyrie, part of the Inner Circle, really helping things out. Yasmin Aguilar then gets pissed about this and gets out of the ring, and that will scare Taya off. Yes, moving that along. Taya working with the youngsters. The Queen's Court defeat Leva Bates and Maria de Pasqua. Bates and Pasqua show excellent chemistry teaming together. I don't think that will be relevant ever. New gimmick for the Queen's Court a little bit, because they kind of suck. Roxy defeats Cynthia Regal in a little bit. Will Power defeats Stu Grayson and Evil Uno. The Chocolate Thunder Bomb. Then Proud and Powerful defeat Homicide and Colt Cabana when Ortiz submits Colt Cabana. And Homicide does bruise his tailbone, which is a little bit of a shame for him. Santana working through an injury as well. And apparently that helped him to hurt Homicide. So that does it for our episode of Dark, as we move on to Dynamite. And right away, the Hybrid 2 defeat the Acclaimed. And Helico submits Anthony Bone with the, after interference by Maria de Pasqua, part of the Tag Team Breakouts Tournament. So a bit of a shock win there. The Acclaimed, of course, one of the best teams in real AEW, but this one has kind of struggled with them a little bit. But oh, it was Griffin Slade. Okay, it's supposed to be Griffin Slade interfering against, not MDP. Knowing that the match while Jack Evans and Max Caster are fighting on the outside, Griffin Slade attacks Caster, and while he does take out Evans as well, Slade is mainly focused on Caster, ends up powerbombing him into the railing as Angelico beats Owens, but right after the win, before they can even be announced as the winners of the match, TH2 rush out to help save Caster. Slade beats them down as well. The other wrestlers, a bunch of people from backstage rush out, and they stop Slade and security eventually escort him out the building. This is writing Max Caster off. He is going to rehab for a painkiller addiction in this save, so he will be out for some time. This is going to be the injury from him. After this, we see a vignette of Wardlow in the hospital as they're talking about the damage, and he's in a hospital bed. At the start of 2021, I suffered a major injury that put me out for over a year of my career. Now, my leg's busted. It's painful. It's difficult. It sucks. I've already lost a year of my career, and I don't want to have any more. I don't want to lose any more time. But that son of a bitch, Brian Pillman Jr., didn't agree. The little bastard sided with Pac and his brood of brutes. They're relishing in the fact that they've injured me. You know what? I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not going to just lay back and be content with that, regardless of what the damage is. As soon as I can, I'm breaking out of this damn hospital ward, and I'm kicking your ass. So yes, Wardlow, kayfabe injury, of course. His story has been the durability of Wardlow. Did have that big major concussion that he suffered on Dark pretty early on in the series, thanks to Griff Garrison. After this, we actually cut to Brian Pillman Jr. and SDLR. It's really tragic. Zelina says, it's really tragic, isn't it, that this grand hero, this force for good that everyone keeps keeps knocking down again and again. Well, I don't think it's tragic. I just find it amazing. And Brian Pillman Jr., who's just an absolute shithead, talks and he says, Selena's right, War Dog. Pax talked to us recently, and Selena's more than up for it. Italian isn't about hurting people physically, not just about hurting them physically. It's about breaking the spirits of people. The rest of us we hurt, the fans out there liking these damn heroes. Look, life ain't so black and white. And it's not going to be good guys versus bad guys, and the good guy's not always going to win. I'm sure you've seen that, buddy. So, have fun in the hospital. You've already been out for some time, so at this point, I think it's best for your health if you consider retiring. Yes, Selena De La Renta, Brian Pillman's girlfriend in this save, helping BPJ just be not as good as... It's somewhat similar to the Dominic Mysterio, but obviously not as good because Dom is top tier at being a little shithead. While Brian Pillman Jr. is kind of at everything pretty much in the ring. So yes, Brian Pillman Jr. injures Wardlow and then starts to talk trash. I don't know what I was doing during this. I was probably talking about something important. Maybe I was taking my time with reading it, but who knows. But Brutality Inc. going after the big damn hero in Wardlow. Anna Jay and Ty Conti then did a surprise win over Hikaru Shida and Giona Daddio, but they do blatantly cheat in order to get it. Shida and Giona do not have any tag chemistry whatsoever. I think it was meant to be a roll-up, actually, I believe. Yeah. Picking up win with the feet on the rope, Anna Jay and Ty Conti get out of dodge quickly, cheering about their win over the TBS champion. Giona is pissed and starts to chase after them, but they are prepared for this. They keep beating down Giona, and since the win was not completely clean, Shida is quick enough up to her feet to grab her kendo stick. That scares off Tay and Jay for a moment until Utami rushes in. She attacks Shida from behind, and then afterwards she takes the physical TBS title belt. And then runs off. Giona is in pursuit. Big ol' schmaz, and of course, a classic in wrestling storytelling. I have the physical belt, so we'll see where that goes with. But a big win for Jay and Tay. Well, Giona not doing too well in her start with helping out Hikaru Shida. Utami getting herself involved. Renee Paquette is backstage with TH2 and Marie de Pasqua and talk about their victory in the opener. I don't know why I said main event. And they said, we wish that things didn't end up like this. I mean, we wanted to be definitive in our win. I suppose we'll have to take it. Can't say that this is the end. Now we actually have to beat Lance inside. Oh, this was the finals of the tournament, I think. So we just have to train up as much as possible and make sure that we're ready for anything that Seidel is ready to throw out while anticipating what Lance Archer is already known of what he can do. So, yes, going through, taking up their big win in the tag title tournament. They will be the next challengers. CM Punk then defeats Dante Martin, the Anaconda Vice. The match, she looks to show some respect to Dante by offering him a hand up, but he's attacked from behind by Darius, and Matt and Jeff soon come in to join. The triple team successfully take down Punk. Dante eventually gets up and talks them all down, which eventually Matt does agree to. Matt and Top Flight leave, but Jeff has some lingering eyes on CM Punk as he heads out. So some intrigue. I believe Darius injured last week, if I recall correctly, because this is... I'm always really behind on my recordings, so this is being recorded in July. This is being recorded in July. I have no idea when this was actually recorded on my end for the original take. I think back in January. Elena Black and Jimmy Hayter defeat Jordan Grace and Kira Hogan. Pretty definitive win there for the baddie, or the boss bitches, I believe. Yeah. Ricky starts then scene with Taz, and Taz begins to talk up Ricky before he cuts him off. He says, Miro, you have a few things right about me. Maybe there's some truth to what you're saying about Taz. Maybe being with Taz is holding me back, but there's something I'll never listen to you about. And that's that Taz has always had my back. Behind the scenes, off camera, Taz has been teaching me how to succeed, how to be an assassin, how to be the best me I can be. So you have your prayers, you can have your desire to redeem everyone, but I don't need redemption. I'm not some sinner like you think I am. I'm absolute Ricky Starks, and I am an effing badass. So yeah, Ricky Starks, just a quick hype promo, hyping himself up. 6'1", I think, is pretty low for him, but I believe that's just because he's not all too popular. But yeah, just a quick promo, hype himself up. This is who I am, and I am good. Meanwhile, I am not good, apparently, off screen. In this recording. Yeah, I gotta love me reading things on this one way faster than I did. And before us, the Future then defeat Princedom, very surprisingly, although there is some interference by Frederick Hurst. So, not fully clean with that, but the Future do get the surprise win over the two more veteran pieces, I guess we could say. They're not veterans per se, but Devlin's been around for a while. If I recall correctly, I think he's been like a 14-year veteran, 13-year veteran. Been wrestling for a long time. The Future laugh at Princedom after their tainted win, until Devitt comes in the ring, and that scares the Future off. Devitt is evidently angry at his protege, and Devlin profusely apologizes, but eventually he's angry, he's staring him down. Eventually, okay, you know what, it's fine. Apparently, Jacob Fatu said something during that, which is awesome. Return from a commercial, the ring is set up for the Chris Jericho Appreciation Night. Judas plays as Jericho comes to the ring, JS is already waiting. So not time spent hyping up Jericho and talking about his many accomplishments while he himself talks. And much like what they did before, he also is hyping himself up, talking about how being a major part of AEW is, it's so good for my career. It's been fantastic. Well, I've had all these other accomplishments in WCW, in Connecticut, in Georgia. It's really here in Jacksonville, the Jacksonville promotion where I've been able to shine. But then Garza's music hits, and he starts to taunt Jericho about the self-indulgence the ceremony has, and how he has a plan for ruining things. A bunch of masked figures attack the ring. Commentary speculates that this is what Garza meant until he is also attacked by the masked figures. People are taken out inside and out of the ring, and as the chaos dies down, you can see it's the same masked figures, or quote-unquote ninjas, that took out Kenny and Kota Ibushi. Chris Statlander is the first to remove her mask, with the Butcher and the Blade following suit shortly after. Then the two, so this is like a kind of a ring, obviously they're staring at hard cam because, it's dramatic. Two closest to the man in the ring remove the mask, and it shows that they are Rey Fenix and Penta before the one in the middle removes his mask, showing that he is Brody Lee. Show ends with this group standing over the wreckage of both the JES and the Full Rose Garden. Brody Lee has come out. He's shown up. He's apparently behind all of the, behind those kidnappings, behind Kenny being taken out, behind Kota being taken out. And so now he stands tall. 73 rated show, not the best. though we are still in Canada, and our popularity sucks there. But with that done, we'll move on to Rampage and another post-com episode.